What is up, Red Raider Nation? Welcome to episode 64 of the Lone Raider podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm your host, Jonah Young, and with me today is the biggest Jets fan this side of the Mississippi, my good friend, Nathan Zuniga. What's up, Zuni? How we doing today, man?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm fine. You mentioned Jets. I don't know why you got to do that to me, man. I don't want to think about them. It's fine.
Well,
Look,
how many other Jets fans do you know in the state of Texas?
one,
Zero, literally just him.
Yeah, literally
just
just
one,
you. That's all I know.
just one. I know one other person. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I met him at work because he was betting a table.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the odds? What are
What
the
are the
odds?
odds? What are the odds? And funny enough, he actually actually watched the games. It wasn't like well, I'm a fan of this team, but I don't really watch them or keep up with them type person. It was actually a
You
legitimate
actually,
fan.
okay, yeah. So you actually watched the
It-
games, kept up with the
yeah,
stats, everything
yeah,
going on. So,
And now you
So
guys can cry together. How
yeah,
wonderful.
you know,
yeah, you're
you
right.
always need somebody, man.
Absolutely right. Nothing like your friends to kick you down about all their teams making the playoffs and yours not. Yeah, great.
Mine did not this year. So we have that in common,
Yeah.
Zuni. But also joining us on the podcast today is San Antonio's finest, Mr. 210 himself, Nesto Martinez. What's up, Nesto? How we doing today, man?
What's up? I would just like to say Wemby's that guy.
He is. The Spurs just went final against the Pistons today, got the dub. You know, if there's any team you
Triple
want to
double.
get a dub against, it's definitely the Pistons. I'll tell you that. You know,
Triple
the
double, man.
only team worse than San Antonio at the moment. So, you
Let's
know,
go.
Hey, but who else you know will
we're
get a
not
triple
Detroit.
double in 21 minutes?
Yeah,
It's unheard of.
Cheers.
absolutely. Well, before we get this one going, guys, I really do hope that everybody listening had a very wonderful Christmas and a very, very happy New Year, and you're keeping up with your New Year's resolutions. We were off for a couple weeks there to celebrate the holidays, but once again, like I said, I hope everyone had a very, very wonderful time. We are back on the grind. That is right. Today, the day of recording is Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. And on this week's episode, we have quite a bit to get to. You know, got the Bowl Mania recap, some national championship banter, of course, the game that happened on Monday, some transfer portal news, Big 12 basketball officially being in full swing as we recap the Red Raiders' previous outings versus Texas and Oklahoma State. Go over some, just kind of some touch on some controversy, buzz around the program. Thankfully, nothing happened during the break there. Of course, we're capping it off with our good vibes vibe of the week and possibly introducing a new segment, similar but kind of on the opposite spectrum. I don't know if it's going to be a mainstay or not. You know, you guys will have to tell us if we want that segment to be a mainstay on the podcast. But regardless, we have a lot coming your way in this episode. Before we get into all of that, I want to remind y'all go follow our social media accounts. That is at Lone Raider Pod, Lone Raider POD on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and on YouTube. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Also, feel free to leave us a 5-star review if you so choose. Either way, we appreciate you all for supporting your local small time Texas Tech Sports podcast that is brought to you by the fans that give some dams. And we're officially powered by the boy, the South Plains. Be sure to check them out. That's at South Plains on both Twitter and Instagram. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into some breaking news in the college football world. Literally broke just a couple hours ago. Nick Saban retiring from Alabama. Guys,
Crazy.
start with you,
Shocker.
Zuni. What are your thoughts, man?
That's I would say Nick Saban, a huge part of my childhood, I would say, or at least my teenhood. I could say that, right? I mean, that man was the face of college football. I would argue for this
Yeah.
entire decade. Like that was the coach like that you thought of when you thought college football. The most notable one. And yeah, that man's gonna retire as the greatest of all time. Like he's got seven. Like the only other person that comes close to him is Bear Bryant from like what the 60s at Alabama, funny enough. So other than that, like I mean, there's been renowned coaches, but like this is like the cream of the crop. Like it's Nick Saban. So
Yeah.
happy to
Yeah.
see him go though. I will say, as far as competition goes, it's gonna make someone's got to be the new Saban, right? Like the face of college football as far as coaches go. Um, So that's up for grabs right now. I'm excited to see who's gonna try to grab that as their.
We already got a new face, and that is Joey McGuire
Oh
here
yeah,
at
that's the
Texas
face of
Tech,
college
the
football.
new
100.
face of college football, man.
Okay, alrighty.
Now there are a lot of faces, but I think you definitely have to give Saban's
But will
credit
there?
as much as
I don't
we
know. I don't know if there will ever be one that's stamped above the rest, if that makes
yeah,
sense,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like even Alabama's down year was still a trip to the college football playoffs. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I
Like
know.
that doesn't.
Like it was a national championship or bust every single year. And as much as you want to hate Saban, you
Be
really
another
the
like
only
them.
reason why you hated him, like if you're a fan of like Texas Tech, for example, or really any other team not associated with the SEC at all, you hate him because he won too much. He made winning national championships look easy. Like it was just something you're supposed to do every other year. I mean, every class besides this one had a national championship ring. They walked away having won a national championship during his whole tenure at Alabama. That's crazy. Like it's crazy. That is dominance right there. You
It
won
is, man.
6 national championships in the last 13 years, 12 years actually, I think. Past 12 years you've won 6 national championships. That they're Alabama fans our age right now that have never known anything outside of winning and consistently being in national championship conversation and going to that promised land every single year.
That's
So
funny that that's all
that's
they
crazy.
know.
Yeah.
So they're about to get brought down to earth real quick.
I don't
You
know.
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. Like
I don't know about that.
some names I'm seeing being circled are like Dan Lanning out of Oregon. Um,
Mm.
probably I don't know if he makes that move. I don't know if you want to be in Alabama. Do you want to be at Oregon? That's
Honestly, the only
not a
person I
preference, but
realistically saw that was like kind of thrown out there was truly was what was it Dabo? Like that's the only person to me
Dabo
that
maybe.
makes the
Um,
most sense as far as I mean you're going to
I saw Lane Kiffin's
a
name thrown
higher.
out.
I thought the only reason Lane wouldn't go back is just because of the whole like
SEC,
fiasco,
yeah.
right? The early years, right? Especially with the whole like coaching tree and him related to Saban. And did they leave on a good note? I don't remember them
No, they did
leaving
not
on a
have a
good
good
note,
note.
right?
No, 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 no,
Right?
no.
They left on
They
a terrible note if I
yeah.
recall correctly. So that'd be just I don't think Lane Kiffin would be the guy to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Alabama to surpass Nick Saban because I don't think that would happen in a million years. Like that's
Well,
the
Kiffin
only
got
way.
Kiffin got 3 national championships with Saban at
Yeah, but
Alabama.
as an O coordinator, man,
Yeah, I mean,
that's just. I mean, there's a whole bunch
still,
of O coordinators that that haven't done well leaving Bama
yeah.
either, right? As far as we could argue, but I mean, yeah, I just don't see that. The only realistic move I could see is like a Dabo, like somebody that isn't comfortable where they're at, right? The only reason you'd go to Alabama is one, you think it's the best division in college, which
My
it is,
problem
right?
with Dabo is that I feel like that's kind of like a Jimbo Fisher type move, you know?
I do too. I do too. But the thing is, like, there's no other like renowned coach that makes sense. That's gonna bring in recruits like a Saban, or even half of what Saban could do as far as bringing in recruits.
Yeah, fair
I don't
enough.
know,
Fair
man.
enough.
I
But
don't know. I
I don't
guess.
know.
I guess. I'll present this question to both of y'all. Will they still be a top 10 in recruiting every year going forward?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I mean, with their
With the
facilities, with
pedigree, the
the pedigree
pedigree,
they
all of
have,
that.
still
Yeah,
the name of Bama, the chant "We want Bama," that came during this era, during
that's
the
true,
entire Saban era.
dude.
People say we want Bama
What a
because
sick
what they
chant, bro.
did, they propelled themselves to just that platform, that almost just I don't want to say, like perfect entity, but that's a pretty good way of describing it. Like they were like the standard. You talk about we want Bama because we want to see how we do against the
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 standard,
perennial
the
powerhouse,
cream of the crop.
against
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
standard, the cream of the crop, like that kind of program, and they were the team, they were always the team to beat every single year in the world of college football. Now with NIL, it gets a little bit different. Bama doesn't necessarily have as great of NIL collectives or as big of donors as other schools, like maybe an A&M or UT or hell, in Michigan, Ohio State, as big a collectives as they have. That's why they're starting to get somewhat out recruited. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have probably a slew of transfers, which means that McGuire can get his hands on some guys
Y'all
coming
couldn't
over
hear it,
from
but that
them,
man
you
was
know.
rubbing his hands into the mic, guys. Just FYI.
Like, let's go,
That
dude. I
man
mean,
was rubbing
he's like a vulture.
He's
He's
up
like
to
he
something.
knows like when he gets
scheming.
when Bama guys start transferring that McGuire's gonna pick at least one. I'm gonna make a prediction. Take at least one guy.
At least one.
At
Okay.
least one. They'll try to. But Nesta, what about you, man? What are your thoughts on this? I know we kind of talked over you a lot.
I'm
Yeah.
completely shocked. I mean, I was not expecting this. I don't know who was. It just, I don't know. The last play of that Michigan game, just that was it. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. That one is. Should we go ahead and
Yeah.
get
So
into that national championship game right quick?
Yeah, I mean, we're already kind of alluding to it anyways, right?
Yeah.
With the whole playoffs. And I mean, we could talk the championship. I mean, if y'all want to give y'all's thoughts on the semifinals, I mean, those were great games.
Yeah, great games. Actually,
Um,
I think the first year that we haven't had a blowout in the semifinals. It's
yeah,
fantastic. I
that was
love that.
awesome. Yeah,
You
too
know,
bad it
like
was in the
both
Natty,
games
right?
were fantastic.
I don't know what
It's
I'd
too
rather
bad.
have.
Your boy, by the way, picked both the correct winners, which led me to win my Bowl Mania pick'ems. And yes, I am the champion of the Bowl Mania pick'ems. You know, we're gonna revisit that right quick. Got our sheets right here.
I honestly
Um,
forgot who I picked, if I'm being honest with you.
same.
yeah. So Nesto had nothing but the Tide. Uh,
Nothing but the Tide. Fair enough.
but no, as far as the Bowl Mania pick'ems, I had 25 out of the 42 correct. Zuni, you had 23 out of 42, and Nesto,
Damn.
you came in last at 20 out of the 42, man.
Yeah,
So
you made
you
20
Wow.
though.
lost more
You
than you
made
won
20s
there,
though.
man. But you know, there were some that you won, Nesto, and I was just like, how did you pick that correctly? You know, I was like, how? Like we both
Hey,
picked
bro. It's
the
called
other
easy money
team.
for a reason, Jonah.
Yeah, Bowl Mania is fantastic, man. I had a
Not
great
easy
time
enough.
playing it, and you know, boy is victorious once again. But yeah, so let's kind of touch on the national championship game. Michigan wins the national championship 34 to 13 over Washington. This game looked like it was going to be TCU 2.0, TCU Georgia 2.0,
Straight up,
I'd
bro.
say,
Straight up. Looked like it
at
was gonna be. I
first,
mean,
because Donovan
basically, we
Edwards
could
was just being that dude who was standing
you
on
can
his
argue
business.
that it
That run
was.
game, bro. That
Yeah,
run game,
for sure, for sure. And
killer.
Top- Bro, it
uh,
was that O line, man. That D
definitely, I mean,
line, that O
and
line,
thing
D
is, like,
line.
Washington's O
Both.
line, they won the Joe Moore Award for best offensive line in the country.
Didn't show
Michigan
that
had it
night.
the 2 years prior, but you know, it's kind of like kind of funny
They took it
doing
personal.
that. But I guess so. I guess they took it
It was
personal,
the
but
Michael Gerald meme, man. Or Coach Prime, if you want to say. Now they gotta go and make it personal.
you know, I just like that we got a new king of college football. You know, maybe there is an
That
asterisk
is
next to it.
nice.
Maybe there's not.
That is
Maybe there's not
nice.
an asterisk next to this national championship, considering that you know, you can make the argument that this is the most pure national champion in all of in college football history because during the course of the year, not just the NCAA, but FBI, I think, got involved in this investigation with Michigan and the sign stealing and everything going on. And I've heard some even like really extreme reports about that, kind of rumors, nothing confirmed yet. Kind of rumors is that people at Michigan were hacking into other teams' systems to see what kind of plays they were going to run, what their design was, what really the game plan was going against Michigan. So
Mm,
that's just a rumor, though. You know, kind of something to chatter about. But you know, still, you were under a microscope all season long, and it didn't matter. You were still the best team in all of college football. Nobody
Still
beat
went
you 3-0.
undefeated, man.
You
Still went
beat
undefeated. Yeah.
everybody, you know. So yeah, I mean, congrats to Michigan. Hope Harbaugh stays in Michigan, and I hope John Harbaugh gets a Super Bowl this
uh,
year too. The
Wow, this
Harbaugh
dude.
brothers, you know.
wow.
Wow.
But
Hater.
yeah, what are you guys' thoughts
True.
on the national championship game though?
It sucks that Penix got hurt, right? And that obviously his O line didn't perform nearly up to standard that they have played all season. But um, I feel like Michigan was the favorite regardless of what happened, of how good Washington looked going into that game, especially being Texas the way they did.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. Like, I wasn't shocked by the outcome. It was just more of those things where like somebody's story is gonna prevail as this college football season story, right? So it just felt more like it was gonna be Michigan, if that makes sense. Like the script felt like it would just make more sense if it was Michigan winning, right? Like when you factor in everything that they went to, like piggybacking off of what you said from the sign stealing, from the expectations to just from the loss from last season in the semifinals, right? So that all played a part into this story that Michigan that had this season and 15-0, so they tie the record. Here they tie the record, or they have the record for the best season in college football.
It's out of the record.
Technically,
It's out.
they tie the record, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. To me,
You
I
know,
still think the best
don't you
like
think it's
true football college season, like the best team out of that of this era is still LSU 2019. I don't think any team is beating that team,
whoa, we talking
but
like since the turn of the century, or are we talking
yeah, since
of all
since
time?
2010, since 2010, since
Well,
the college football playoffs, man, I
well,
would
I
I would
mean the
say
'01 Miami roster. Let's
since
not
2010, man, since
oh,
2010
since
is what I
2010.
said.
Okay. Okay, fair
Of
enough.
this era of college football, I would say that LSU was the best team that I'd seen play,
Yeah.
like
Like
collectively
I can't even
together
argue with
as a
that. Yeah,
team.
they were fantastic.
Collectively as a team, I can't think of another team that's beating them in this past decade, you know.
Don't you think it was
So
kind of funny though that a team that got, caught sign stealing won a national championship in the city where a certain baseball team got caught for sign stealing? I don't know, guys. Uh, I don't know. I don't
Nah,
know.
no,
now
Just
you're looking
little
nah.
too deep into
conspiracy
it.
going
Now
Come
on.
you're
I don't
on,
know.
come on,
reaching.
come
This
on.
guy's reaching if I've
He's
ever seen. That's a
reaching.
foul.
Just
He's
That's a
reaching.
foul.
He's reaching across the goal line, and he fumbled.
He fumbled. CD Lamb. Sorry.
Ah,
Ah, I had to do it to him.
wow,
Y'all still won. Get over it. Okay, continuing on.
wow,
but
I
no,
mean, that's
that's
kind of
kind
how I felt
of
about the college football. I know Nesto here chose Washington to win this game. Just gonna put that
no.
out there. Yeah.
Nesto had
I chose
His
Alabama.
Michigan.
his score prediction was to between the game, I should say.
Oh, between the game. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he
Yeah, yeah.
originally thought Alabama was going to
Oh,
win the national championship.
I said 34-30. Once it was
Yes.
Michigan versus. I thought it'd be closer,
Washington.
but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it'd be
think we all
closer
thought it
too.
was going to be a little bit closer than what it
wait.
was.
So what was the final score to the game? 34-13. I
34-13.
got the 34
34-13.
right. Let's go.
Nice. Nice. Good shit, man. Good shit.
There you
I
go.
needed
Just
to
the
buy
wrong team.
squares. I
Yeah,
should have
you
bought
were
squares.
kind of close to
Should
me.
have
You had
bought squares.
33. I had 31 for Michigan. But
Yeah, I had 33. I was close. I was looking at it. I was like,
Hey,
oh, I called it into the PAT.
Washington's receivers though they were pretty trash for the most
well,
part.
in this game they were.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to say
yeah.
that overall. Like no,
No, no,
they
no, no,
No, I was
were.
no.
gonna say
But in this game
overall,
they're
they're kind
pretty.
of nice.
No,
That guy,
in this
that's
game they sold. I mean, come on, they dropped a lot of easy catches. Honestly,
they did. I won't lie. All I know is they had an XTTU over there on that sideline.
Yeah, Jalen Polk, man. Man,
That
what
man was nice this season, bro.
could have been
That man
something?
was
Could have been
nice this
something here at
season.
Tech, man. I hate you. I hate him for making the absolute right decision and leaving. Like it hurts me that he did that.
Eh, well, guess what? You can come back. Come back to Barrymore now,
I think he has
because
like one more year. I don't know.
pretty sure he
Maybe.
does. I thought he was a junior.
Yeah, I think he has one more year of eligibility. He could still come back. You have no reason to, Jalen.
No reason. I
No reason
mean,
to at
your
all.
quarterback's leaving for the draft, so
yeah. I
maybe
was about
that's
to
a
say,
reason.
well,
So I don't
Well,
know.
anyways, let's kind of shift the gears from talking about other teams of college football to talking about our college football
Oh,
team
did you we
right quick.
forget this was a tech podcast? Holy shit!
Yes,
No, I'm sorry.
I think we kind of forgot that for the first almost 30 minutes of the
We
episode.
even mentioned the Cowboys in there. Yeah, we definitely were on a tangent,
Straight up,
boys.
straight up. Just kind of getting into some transfer news. So we did have a transfer out during that time. Blake Burris, defensive lineman, is looking for a new home as he enters the transfer portal. A couple of transfers in though. Got a transfer from Oklahoma, a tight end Jason Llewellyn. I think say his name. Uh,
former 4-star recruit.
yeah, former four-star recruit out of transferred in from Oklahoma. Um, Fantastic addition, man. I'm telling you right now, man, that tight end room is going to be stacked for Texas Tech,
Stacked,
dude. Absolutely
honestly.
stacked, and I'm so thrilled for it.
I'm
Um,
so excited for it too, for them to collectively have 20
Man,
receptions in
we're
the
all
season.
gonna be sipping the Kool-Aid this offseason, huh?
well,
I
I
do it
might
every time,
dabble
man.
in the Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna chug it like I did last season.
I
You
like
know,
to
Zuni I
swim in
know
it
is gonna chug
personally.
that shit. He's
I
like, bro,
love
you only live
swimming in
once,
it
man.
myself.
Let's go.
Now I'm
But
not gonna lie,
Sure.
I might chug it too.
Go ahead, man.
also, defensive back Javion Wilcox transferred in from TCU, defensive back. Um, once again, as I mentioned on the couple podcasts ago, that I didn't really want them to pursue defensive back positions, because I feel like already have a really good DB room. I just feel like that was kind of a maybe kind of a waste of time, you know. But
Mhm.
hey, it's a really good one that you
Hey, you
got.
never
It's
know,
gonna
man.
definitely add a lot of depth to the defensive back room that's already pretty stacked and pretty deep. So you like it, man. I still like it. I'm still glad that he chose to be a Red Raider. So and he was actually teammates with Micah Hudson back at Lake Belton High School. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
gonna be
That's probably why
reunited
he
with him.
came.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty
Okay.
cool.
All right.
They're gonna ball out together at Texas Tech. So yeah, that's really all
Former
I got.
teammates becoming
Also you had your
teammates. Love
yearly,
to
we had
see
our
it.
yearly Texas Tech football transfer to Houston. We always get one of those. One of our guys always leaves and goes to Houston every year. This year it was tight end Jaden York. He will be suiting up for the Cougars this fall. So yeah.
Boo.
Boo.
I wish him nothing but the worst. No, it's
I'm
like,
happy
We don't play
that I'm.
Houston, so I'm okay with it. You do
Oh, we
you,
don't.
kid.
That's kind of lame. I
ah, that
actually,
sucks. I thought we
I
did.
kind of, yeah, I like
No,
this
no, no.
rivalry that we got going on with Houston. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
because it was mostly one-sided towards our favor.
Exactly. So this is why I like it. The Battle of the Reds, man.
Rats.
The Reds.
The
Yeah.
Rats.
Red Royal rivalry.
The Red Royal rivalry. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I like
It's a
that.
good one, right?
Is that what it's
Yeah, I
called?
just made
Is
that
that
up,
what
by
it's
the
called?
way. I
That's not
just made
bad.
that up.
Red Royal. Red Royal.
Red Royal
Ooh,
rivalry. You know,
that's cool. Triple R's. I
exactly.
like
Like
it.
our segment,
I
Red
like.
Recap, Triple R. So I guess that's kind of all the football news we have today. Gonna go ahead and get into some basketball news as we
Some B
kind of tie
ball.
a little bow on the 2023 football season, and we shift gears now to college basketball. It's definitely gonna take up the bulk of our conversations on this episode and moving forward in future episodes until we get into baseball season, and then that'll kind of kickstart it from there too. So yeah, Texas Tech basketball, start off conference play a lot better this year than they
Oh,
did
you don't say.
last season as
You don't
as
say.
the Red Raiders are now 2-0 in conference play. They rounded out the non-conference play against North Alabama, getting of course a very dominant dub over them to go 11-2 in non-con play. Two losses being, of course, to Villanova and Butler. You hate that it's two Big East teams, and that's kind of like the next. What the experts are saying the next toughest conference is, and you hate that your two losses were to Big East teams, but is what it is. Just follow what they may. Still though, Texas Tech had a very, very impressive outing on the road to open up conference play in Austin at the Mood. Definitely bless that mood, my
That's
friends. They did a
it's our
great,
home away from
great
home,
job.
man.
Um,
Home away from home,
before we
bro.
get into more like kind of dissecting this game, we just want to just note that kind of just like so people understand that we are aware of what's kind of going on with Pop Isaacs. We definitely
Mm.
have heard the reports. I'm sure like, all three of us have definitely read the reports that was put out by ESPN. Not really going to touch too much on it because, well, one, we don't have all the facts. We don't really know what exactly happened. A lot of, different rumor mills spreading. But I will say, if some things are, if it's true and that he did do everything he was reported to have done, then yeah, he needs to go ahead and be kicked out of Texas Tech and, probably not play college basketball ever. If it's not true, I think he's definitely owed an apology. So that's all I'm gonna kind of say on that matter. Do you guys have anything else you want to add on?
Nah, you pretty much said everything I would say. There's nothing
Hopefully, it's
really
not
else to
true.
add on.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
guess
mean, definitely hate
hell of
that.
a player, man. Yeah, hate to see uh a player on your team tread on waters such as this, but here
Yeah,
we are. So it's really all
yeah,
you can say, man.
for sure. But as of right now, Texas Tech University came out with a statement saying that he's pretty much well in good standings. No reason not to believe his side, not to not take his side. So yeah, as far as we know, as of right now, at this moment, he still remains in good standing with the university. I just want to get that out of the way before we go ahead and sing his praises because he has had two very dominant performances in
Two
back-to-back games.
great games. Yeah.
Yes, just wanted to get that out of the way, let you guys know, once again, we're aware of what's
Yeah,
going
we're
on
aware.
with this
Yeah.
situation. But yeah, with that said, though, let's kind of deep dive into this game. So Texas Tech goes on the road to Austin, beats the 20th ranked Texas Longhorns 78-67 at the Mood. Texas Tech has now won 5 of the last 6 meetings in Austin,
It's
And
our
and
home
away from
now.
home,
has
baby.
and of the last 14 meetings has gone 11-3. The last 14 meetings that they've met the Longhorns. So pretty pretty good dominant stretch there to kind of send Texas out with to the SEC, knowing that we're not going to play them in basketball for well quite some time. But getting into some of the guys in this game who had very noble performances. Once again, the aforementioned Pop Isaacs man led the way with 21 points, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds, followed by Warren Washington, who had 15
Baller this
points,
game, man.
3 rebounds, and no assists, but did have a steal and 3 blocks too to go along with that. Also followed by the guy Joe Toussaint, who had
Ooh,
15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists as well. Just absolutely dominant performances by
that
Dominant.
these
man's been
guys.
on
Really, they,
fire,
they
dude.
they really stepped up. They were catching so much heat in this game. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, Joe Toussaint like could not miss from like that mid range against Texas. I mean, he was just on it, dude. They were on another level. Coming off the bench though, you had Chance McMillan, who had 11 points, 5 rebounds,
That
no
was nice to
assists.
see.
But yeah, he was fantastic coming off the bench. How about this guy, Robert Jennings? Guy's not getting a lot of talk to. He's definitely going to get some more minutes as the year goes on. Of course, with the
Definitely deserves
injury
minutes,
to
man.
Devin Cambridge, going to play more of that stretch four position like Cambridge could play. Um, and it was really enlightening to see. Just all these performances coming off the bench. We don't go as deep on the bench, which is still something I'm kind of getting used to under the McCaslin era, as we did with Adams and Beard. Where we play 10, 12 guys on the court like
Hmm.
basically play our entire roster in a game, do all these,
Which I'm
subs
not
in
completely
and out
against that either,
all the
though.
time. So it was,
Nah, that's how you. This chemistry, right?
yeah, yeah. It's
We
just, and
look,
when
we look
guys are
like we have
hot,
chemistry,
keep them on the
right?
court.
Yeah,
Love that. Love that. But yeah, you guys got anything else you want to add to this game? What were your thoughts about this game? We'll start with you, Zion.
dude, we came out swinging, and especially Texas being a ranked opponent, and it was an away game. Like, you can't write a better start to our Big 12 season, man. You really can't against a rival, against a team that you're very capable of beating. Especially with everything on our side as far as it being a quote unquote rebuild year. I'm on the other side of the fence, babe. We reloading. Okay, that's what we doing over
Hey,
here.
yo.
Last year was a mulligan, how Jonah likes to say. Right? So yeah, this is our reload year. We're coming. What's up? What's up? March, we're coming for it. We're getting a ticket to the dance. I'm calling. We look nice, man. We look nice
We
against Texas.
are
We really did.
currently in Lenardi's last four into the tournament.
Hey
I like
man,
it, man. I'll
that's
take it.
better.
I'll
It's
take it.
better than what we were last year, right?
No doubt.
Last
No
four
doubt
up.
about that. What about you, Nesta? What were your thoughts about this game, man?
I mean, I thought it was a pretty good performance overall. It kind of, it's kind of worrisome just seeing like how it was kind of like a back and forth, in the middle of that game there. And we ended up pulling away. So, I mean, we dominated. I think so. I mean, when you're away and you can control the crowd and, just keep making buckets, more often than not, you're going to win, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
What?
also
The more
Warren
baskets
Washington.
you make, you're more likely to win. What?
that man Warren Washington, nice, bro. It's been a
Yeah,
minute since
he
we've
Breaking
seen a
didn't. He
news.
didn't.
seven
He.
footer be nice, right?
I don't think he missed a single shot. If I'm not mistaken, that game, right? Went 5 for 5.
Yeah,
So
Warren Washington.
Yeah, I think he went five for
He
five. Right,
missed
he
a
was
couple
perfect on
shots,
the
but
day.
yeah, he probably couldn't tell, but yeah, he was really good.
but yeah, no, that's fun, fun. It was fun basketball, man. It was just nice to see us be competitive again, and not look like we were You know what? This is what I think I like the most. It looked like we were actually running an offense with our guards. Like even if it was a simple pick and roll, happy to see. Because last season, I don't know, man.
And also we're not relying on like one player to make
That
every
too.
single
Yeah,
shot.
That too, right? So
So I feel like last year we relied heavily on like man, what was his name? The small
it was
point guard.
Tyson. It was Tyson Chandler and Pop Isaacs were basically our leading scorers last
it
season.
was
And
Jalen
Darion
Tyson,
Williams. Oh,
Jalen
Jalen
Tyson,
Tyson.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Pop Isaacs as well too. He was in that game
And
last
then
year.
our point guard was
But I feel like Pop Isaacs
Um,
right.
last
So
year was like still trying to find his like refined shot and stuff like that. Like I
yeah,
still think he was like trying to work on that. And like and as you in the Oklahoma State game, man, the way he was making those baskets, it's like at an elite level, like back of the net, net's not even moving. So that's crazy. That's elite level shooting right there.
definitely,
for
man,
sure, man.
definitely. Getting some other
So
numbers here for this game against Texas.
the
Uh, and this is something I didn't know. Like we are, I think, ranked 11th as far as free throw shooting goes in the country.
it's
11th
free
ranked free throw
points,
shooting
man.
team in the country. Yeah, that's
It's free
really good.
points. You
You
got to make
definitely
them.
showed that from the line in this game. You went 15 of 21, 71% from the charity stripe. 3-point range, had a 46%, 7 of 15, and field goal, you were 28 of 53, shooting 52% from the field against Texas. That's pretty good, man. I mean, like, it's just kind of is it a little weird to you to see competent offense, like
Um,
consistent scoring?
at Tech a
Because
little
I'm still
bit.
Yes.
kind of getting
Yeah,
a little bit like
at Tech,
I'm not
yeah.
used to this, man.
Well, mostly because our players in the past have been like very athletic and
Hmm.
can get to the basket, but not much of a like shooting, from the floor very well, like type
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
technique.
Hmm.
Like we weren't pure shooters, mostly just relying on the 3 and D players, and that can get very one dimensional very quickly if you miss a lot of 3 pointers. So, and now we're seeing more of a you know players having a pure shooting form and actually being efficient from the field.
for sure. Like you can see that some of these players actually have like they got some dribble packages, right? They got some post packages, like Warren
Yeah,
Washington making moves in the post. Who's
and
the
then
I'm
Pop
drawing.
Isaacs with that step back, man. That
Yeah,
step
that
back
was
is
nice.
lethal.
Joey Toussaint that man can dribble. He could dribble his
Oh
way
yeah,
into a shot, right? So this is why you're seeing his mid game as well as it is, because I mean that he's using everything to his advantage. I love his dribbling. It's been nice.
and when you can get points at any position on the floor, that makes you dangerous.
Yeah.
That you can't let up on anybody. Usually you'd have like a weakness on the floor, and you can be like, well, we can leave that guy kind of open. He sucks, but not with this team.
Yeah, we have multiple scores, and that's nice to say. That is nice to say for once.
Definitely unexpected considering that last season in North Texas, Grant McCaslin had literally the slowest pace of play team in the entire country at North Texas. So I and as well as I'm sure many other fans thought that okay, that's kind of what he's bringing to Texas Tech. Something that we're not unfamiliar with as far as the pace of play goes, because the motion offense, with Chris Beard, and whatever the hell Mark Adams did, we're kind of used to that kind of pace of play, being a little bit slower, very methodical, a lot of games in the 50s and 60s type range. If you win, great, but if you lose, you just want to rip your hair out. That's what I think a lot of us were expecting this season. We have gotten almost the exact opposite. I mean, we're putting up points. We are doing
Dominating
really
on
well from
defense, man.
three, shooting really well from three. I can't remember a team. I don't even know if the 2019 Final Four team, shot as well
Nah.
from three as we're shooting right
I
now.
mean, we kind of did, which is kind of why we lost that game too, because we kind of, like Nessa said, we were more of like a 3 and D kind of team at
Yeah.
that time. So you can see how the game got away with this against Virginia, right? I mean, I remember. So
Well, I mean, it went into overtime, dude. Let's not act like we got our asses blown out.
I mean, you can see how they pulled away, though. Come on now.
Yeah, in the end, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. We don't talk about that though. We're over that, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
We
Totally.
definitely don't think about that
I
every other
do.
week.
Sleepless nights.
Um, but yeah, you guys got any other thoughts about the UT game before we go and move on to Oklahoma State?
Nah, let's get to the Oklahoma State game because
All right.
that was beautiful performance on the OSU game.
Yeah,
Put it
absolutely.
lightly, right? So
So
It did
Texas
start
Tech,
off kind of scary though.
just a
it
little.
did. Yes, yes, very much so. So Texas Tech starts off conference play 1-0 with a ranked win on the road versus Texas. Awesome way to open up conference play. Then we open conference play at home versus Oklahoma State, where we just continue to have that run of dominance. I will say this one probably couldn't have started any worse for Texas Tech, but definitely could have ended any better. It was really like a tale of not tale of two halves, but like a
I
tale of
wouldn't even say
two like
that, man.
5 minutes, like first 10 minutes, and you saw like the first 10 minutes we're doing really poorly, and the last 10 minutes we really pulled away. Oklahoma State got some points in garbage time, sure, but made the score look a little bit more respectable. But
We put
Texas
up a
Tech
90
dominated in
point
this
game,
game.
man. When was the last time we did that, right?
A couple weeks ago, I think.
90
No, if I'm not
points
mistaken.
against a conference opponent?
Oh,
Opponent?
I
against
was about to
conference.
say,
Oh no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. You should have said conference.
Yeah, there we
My
go.
bad. I should have stressed that. Yeah, against a conference
Yeah,
opponent. Like, when's the last time we put up 90? It's a good trivia
Had to go
question.
back to last year. Good ways. I don't even know if we
It was,
did, honestly.
I don't recall us getting close.
Yeah,
So
I
when
don't
we
even
hit
want
the
to look at
90
the
mark,
schedule last year. So
yeah, yeah, the 90 mark, just passing that this game, like that was
point is, it was
pretty
impressive.
impressive. It was impressive. It was.
but leading Texas Tech in this one in scoring, is it really any surprise? It's Pop Isaacs, guys.
It's the guy, man.
Led the team in scoring with 24 points, five, or no, sorry, 4 assists and 5 rebounds in this game. Just once again, absolute dominant performance. This guy's really been on a tear. Warren
Yeah,
Washington, of course,
that guy's
followed
been on the
him.
tear, man. Talk
Yes,
about the
Warren
spark
Washington.
in the first half that we needed, because for a second there, man,
Hmm.
whew, I was getting kind of concerned.
It's like,
Like I said,
wow.
that's going back to Warren Washington, right? Like this guy has a post game. Like you can see him trying to dribble back into the post, use his size. I love that. I love when a 7 footer uses his size because Jesus, man, nothing's more
Yeah.
frustrating than a guy that, doesn't get in the paint.
Yes.
But
Probably,
Typically
probably
with
some, probably some of the easiest baskets you can get. Honestly, if you're
it's
7 feet.
literally the easiest, man. Literally the easiest. Like if you're missing those, like give me your talent. I can do that. I can miss a layup at 7 foot, man. Give me your talent.
Yeah,
It's
it's always nice to see a 7 footer that's not afraid to be a 7 footer,
yeah,
have those
yeah.
tendencies, because sometimes 7 footers can be a little shy, a little timid, a little kind of awkward, don't want to foul nobody, don't want to, hurt nobody. He don't care, man.
Hang
He's coming
hang around the
after
3 point
you. Like,
line.
yes. And Warren Washington, man,
Fardos.
followed up Pop Isaacs, had 16 points, 5 assists, and four
This man
rebounds.
really
Also had a
said
steal
Fardos.
and 2 blocks in this game.
We bringing up old players from a terrible team. Okay.
Dude, he's so trash, bro.
Good old Fardos Amac, bro. Was that his name? I don't remember.
Uh, I don't,
He
why you
would
gotta bring that
miss
name up? Like,
the
why you gotta bring
easiest
that
hook
up?
shots because I felt like you were describing the perfect idiot.
It's messed up.
Golly, he's just
Ah,
catching
shit.
strays, man. He's over at Cal just catching strays from Texas Tech still, man. That's not fair. It's not fair to
But
him.
shout out to Warren Washington because he's doing the exact opposite, dominating, dunking. That's
He's a
another thing.
dog,
A
man.
seven
He's a dog.
footer just dunking the basket in. I love that. It's an easy way to get 2 points,
Yes,
right?
because it creates momentum, and what happens when momentum is created, the whole team feels it, and then the whole team plays better.
It's nice.
It's a
It's really
thing. It's a
nice.
thing. It's real.
That's crazy talk, Nesto.
This guy.
Doesn't work at all.
So yeah, Warren
He
Washington
said,
had himself a game. He was our second leading scorer for that game, for
Awesome.
he
sure.
said,
Awesome.
"Get out of here."
This is then followed by Kerwin Walton. By the way, all 5 of our stars were in double figures, by the way.
Love that.
Kerwin Walton also had 16 points, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds. Then followed by Darian Williams with 14 points, 4 assists, and 9 rebounds. Joe Toussaint, 13 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds as well. Did have Chance McMillan come off the bench, getting 5 points, 1 rebound, and no assists. And then Robert Jennings, I really want Robert Jennings to be good so bad, man. I want him to be that guy so
The
bad.
number one fan over here.
Really need him, dude. But yeah, he had a bucket and an assist in this game. Played about 7 minutes. Overall shooting from the field, he shot 59%, going 33 of 59. From 3-point range, you were 7 of 13, going 53%.
Just couldn't
And then
miss.
from the charity stripe, you were 76%, going 13 of 17. Only left 4 points up on the board. Yeah, it was it was a dominating victory in that game, and
Couldn't
I love
miss,
that the
man.
fans really showed out too. I believe the attendance was about 14,000, as reported on ESPN, which is almost entirely full. Um, yeah, I really love the crowd that kind of getting back into. I know that was kind of a big dispute on Twitter, at least, or X, whichever we want to call it, about fans not showing up to games, and
Nah, tech shows out, man. Tech shows out.
well, I mean, this is at Tech games,
Yeah.
like our fans not showing up to our games. I'm like, it is against North Alabama, it is against, Sam Houston. Like, yeah, I get it's hard to show up to those games, but I've also, been a student right after we went to the Final Four, and I remember that Northern Illinois game to open up the season was sold out. Every other game, every other mid-major we played after that, sold out crowd, student section sold out. It didn't matter who we played. I've also been on that side, so I can kind of see it from like both sides and through both lenses.
Yeah, yeah. But just to play a little devil's advocate, like school's not even in session right now. So
Yeah,
that's a
today
lot
was
of
this week was syllabus week for the students
yeah,
up there, man.
school wasn't in session for this game, right? So just saying. Just
And I
saying,
mean,
man.
and
They
also like
balling out. They pulling up. They pulling up. Supporting.
also like kids graduate, man. You know, we got new classes in that probably don't even know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a new semester, right? So don't dog on our student section. I mean, our student section probably has we probably have more fun. Just saying.
For sure, man.
Anyways,
I
who
mean,
cares?
but bottom line is the USA was rocking, and I'm really hoping that it continues to rock all throughout the remainder of the season, all of our home games, because the crowd and Dallas District really does make a lot of difference as far as like the energy level. I mean, like we've been to countless games at the USA's,
Yeah, man.
like we know that stadium gets loud, like it gets really, really loud in there too. Um,
It's a fun
and
environment for sure.
yeah, and I'm
And
I'm very much well looking forward to being there this weekend, as I will be in Lubbock this weekend, going to
Mm.
the Kansas State game, which we'll preview here in just a little bit. But yeah, you got any other final thoughts about the Oklahoma State game? Um, and
great,
I do really
great win. Great
I'm
win.
sorry, go
That's all I can say. Oh, that was
ahead.
all I was gonna say, man. It was just a great win. We started off 2-0, Big 12 action. Last time we did that, went to a natty. No, I'm not saying the same thing is gonna happen.
I'm not saying,
But
but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying last time we went 2-0, just I feel confident. I feel good in this basketball team.
Feel good, feel good. Yeah,
I
it's
feel good. I feel like we're
basketball's
a
fun again,
Whoa.
team.
man. Basketball's fun again.
I feel like we're actually a team this go
So
around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
so like I got a question.
Sup?
Okay.
Depending on how we finish like in conference, like does that change the goal that we had the season of just making the tournament to like a deeper run, or does the goal still stay the same of just making the tournament
I
and we'll
would
figure
I
out the
would
rest later?
I would say for McCaslin's first year, it still should just be us making the tourney. Because then that's him proving that he can do it in Big 12, which is a feat, I would say, being able to do it in the Big 12. I
So
mean,
you don't
I
think
granted,
mean,
expectations?
I feel like
I
the
I
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
don't because I don't know, man. It's one of those things, right? If we send 10 teams in the Big 12 to the dance, right, which could happen, by the way, right? Could very well happen.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, then and you're not one of the 10 teams, then that means you were the worst of the bunch, right, in the Big 12. So that's I feel like making the tourney is still important, especially when you make it in our conference, because
Yeah, but I'm
there's
saying like the more that we win, does that change the goal? Like, does that change
not for
the
me, Nesta.
the direction of the of our goals? Like, if
Yeah,
we win, for example, we win the next like 8 games in a row, like, does that change the mentality of, oh shit, we gotta make a deep run? Like, our team's that good.
So I think it really just depends on who you're talking to. Like, if you're talking to the fans, I'm pretty sure like Zune and I said, like I think a good benchmark for Texas Tech is just to make the tournament in whatever capacity that you can, get into the tournament, whether it's as a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seed, yeah, or
How
even if you
third,
have to
fourth,
be
fifth.
at the play-in, in a play-in
Hmm.
game out in Dayton to get a seating in the actual
But
tournament. Like
but to
I
play,
would take that in year one. But as you're saying, if things continue to progress and go on the trajectory that they're going on right now, and they continue
Hmm.
to build chemistry and are
Mhm.
getting big dubs on the road and taking care of business at home against these, top level teams, which they do have a quite a big quite a tough stretch ahead of them right now in the
Hmm.
next 5 games, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it just really depends on who you're talking to because you talk to the coaches, talk to the players, their expectations win every game, regardless of who they're going
Yeah.
against, where they're playing at, it doesn't matter. Their expectations to win every single game. And if we continue like on this positive trend, which I'm really, really hoping we do, that'd be awesome, dude. Um, I as a fan, would my expectation change? No. Like my expectation would be blown out of the water. Like I would be shocked. Like I'm definitely thrilled. I'm like, hey, go as far as you can, my friend. That's kind of like at least where I'm at
Hmm.
with
I
this
guess
trajectory.
this
So like
year.
does my expectation change? Like I think once again, a good benchmark is making the tournament. I think we all really expected that,
Hmm.
like make the tournament in whatever capacity you can. That's still my expectation. Even if you miss it like barely, I'm still gonna be
Hmm.
like, yeah, it is what it is, right? But as you said, I mean, we could easily send 10 teams to the tournament, and I really feel like
Yeah.
even like the bottom level teams would still be up towards the middle in any other conference that we're in. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
that they were in because that's just how tough the Big 12 really is. But it's not something these guys aren't used to. They know that. They know this is a gauntlet. They know this is very unforgiving and really just merciless, uh,
I I
merciless
will say
conference
though,
to play
I
in.
will.
Because I mean, we found out last year, when we went 0-10 in our first first 10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think anybody else really cared? Nope, not at
Hmm.
all. uh, yeah. So we
I
found
get.
out that firsthand, like how relentless this conference can be, and how much you really have to bring it every single night. And we know that, like that's just Big 12. That's just life in the Big 12.
Hmm.
And we did
To
learn
to
from it. I feel like comparing like
yeah, yeah.
last year's start to this one, probably just energized the team even more to be like, let's not start like that again.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. I think so
I
too.
guess
I really
to
only
to
have
play.
like a few guys from that team last year left over because Grant McCaslin, when we had a Brooks from Tailgate Talks on, he specifically recruited guys out of the portal who had been to the
The
NCAA
tourney,
tournament the year prior because he
Mhm.
wanted
yeah.
to build that winning culture. He wanted to have that because that winning mentality is very infectious amongst other guys who chose to stay on the team that didn't really play a ton last year. It just strengthens that desire to win and becomes just the standard. Winning is the standard. So that's that's kind of like what I would say about it.
Hmm.
I guess just to play with the question a little bit. If we finished top four in the Big 12,
Hmm.
um, for me, I think I would expect a Sweet 16 appearance at that point.
See, so that's what I was really like
So
genuinely asking. Like,
I see what your question was, and for the most part, like to me, regardless of where we finish in the Big 12, making the tourney should be the benchmark, so we could set that as our standard. But if we were to
hmm.
finish top four in the Big 12 in such a tough conference, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I would think we should be at least favored in some of our games, right? At least a higher seed. So I
Yes,
would I would expect at least a Sweet 16, right? Very least a
yes.
32, but
So that was the point of my question because it's like if you're top four
mhm.
and Big 12, then if you lose the very first round, like how do you view that, disappointment or successful? Because if it was just getting to the tournament, then it would be, I guess, viewed as successful, right? But you're still losing in the first round after being top four in Big 12. That was the kind of like the premises of my question.
Mhm.
My expectation at that point would just be exceeded. Like you already exceeded
That's
just
fair.
by
That's
making it
fair.
that
Exceeded.
seed.
Fair enough.
Like if that were the example, is that like the hypothetical that you put out? My expectation would
Yeah.
still be exceeded. Like you met and above and beyond what I thought you were gonna do. Because even if you go to the tournament, I was like, finish fourth. What that's maybe a 4 seed, right? Like maybe a 3 or 4 seed in the tournament.
maybe
Somewhere in
fifth.
there.
Yeah, like somewhere, yeah, kind of like between a 3 and a 5, right? Maybe
You're
Yep.
definitely
six.
gonna
I don't know.
be. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Sounds about right.
so like, and let's say you get upset the first round. Like, I mean, still, like, yeah, that would suck. It wouldn't feel good losing like that, but at the same
But at least
time,
you
it's
made
like, you know,
Yeah.
you still exceeded any expectation. Like, you think I expected Texas Tech to go in there as like a 4 seed this year? No, we're still rebuilding. Not at all. Like, I'm not
Nah, it's a
disappointed at
reload.
all.
It's a reload, Jonah. You change that. Come on now. Get on. Hop in the train, baby.
he said,
All righty. Should we go ahead and get
uh,
into the Kansas State game, the game that your
great
boy is going
game.
to be at?
"Yes,
Great
sir."
game. We beat the shit out of OSU. It was a great game. Love to
Yeah,
beat a cowboy.
great
I love to
game.
do that.
You know, they're definitely going through some things there. Best of luck to Oklahoma State until we have to see them again. But yeah, getting into kind of dissecting a little bit about Kansas State. Kansas State is once again they're a very, very well coached team.
You
Of
don't
course,
say.
led by probably one of the most likable coaches, I will say, in all of college basketball with Jerome Tang. I mean, that guy is a guy that the players all rally around night in and night out. You know, he's definitely a guy that also part of the Scott Drew tree with Grant McCasland. Actually, Grant McCasland and Jerome Tang served underneath Scott Drew at the same time. They were at Baylor for I think it was only about a year or so, but they definitely got very, very familiar with each other. Kansas State currently ranks 56th in Ken Palm at the moment. Texas Tech is currently 24th in Ken Palm and 33 in the net rankings. I don't know where they fall in the net rankings, so I'll look that up here in just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Kansas State, we got really familiar with them last year when we went up there to Manhattan, and you know we thought we had that game in hand, but all of a sudden they just came out storming, and they just did not look back. You know, also going to be another storyline in this game that you'll probably see on TV, probably hear the announcers talk about, is Tyler Perry, the leading scorer for North Texas last year, underneath Grant McCaslin. Him playing at Kansas State and playing against his former ball coach there at North Texas. You know, that's probably gonna be another storyline. You know that McCaslin definitely tried to recruit him to Texas Tech for a good while, and you can see why based on the numbers that he's averaging this year. Like, yeah, you definitely understand why he was trying to get him in the Scarlet and Black.
Hmm.
But, you know, regardless though, you gotta go against him. He's a really, really great guard. Guy can score at all three levels. Um, you know, his points, I mean, like he averages 15 points a game with 3 rebounds and 5 assists, averages a steal a game, gets about 36 minutes on the court, so you're gonna see him a lot, and shoots about 32% from the 3-point range. This guy is really, really good player. And you see why McCaslin wanted him on the Red Raiders just by listing that off. He's not the leading scorer though. That's actually going to be the other guard, Cam Carter. This guy averages about 36 minutes played, averages 16 points a game, almost 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. You average 2 steals in a game. Golly. Shoots a little bit less from 3-point range, about 28% from 3-point range, and 86% from the free throw line. That is
Mm.
very incredible. Tyler Perry shoots
So he's
93%.
automatic.
So do not foul these
Don't
guys
foul him.
at stretch time. It gets
Big
down to it, and
points.
it's a close game. Do not foul these guys. They will make it all the time. And also, another guy to really keep an eye on. He's definitely going to have himself a game. Got pretty familiar with him. Is Arthur Kaluma. Averages 15 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Shoots 38% from three and 76% from the free throw line. I mean, he is. I mean, they just have a lot of really, really good players across the board. They go really deep too. I think they go about like 9 or 10 deep because they have a lot of guys averaging some quite a bit of playing time, a lot more playing time than I think our guys average though. But yeah, I mean, kind of have to listen some of those numbers off and kind of like, I guess from a outside perspective. I mean, Zuni, what do you kind of see boasting a big challenge for Texas Tech as we play Kansas State?
Kansas State, they have a really good they have a really good backcourt, man. Like you've already touched on it with the Tyler Perry being the player that he is. Yeah, that man's offense is there. It's definitely not shaky whatsoever. This man can score. So we definitely gonna have to press the issue against their guard specifically because I know him and I know Carter. They are very good facilitators. So if there's a way we can get one of them out of the game, that potentially takes out other players out of the game because of their ability to facilitate. So that's kind of where I'm feeling. As far as offense goes, I think slowing down a 3 point game for Kansas State is pretty important, considering that their players can hit them. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Tyler Perry hit six in the previous game that they played. You can correct me if I'm wrong
Oh, I don't even know.
on
I'd
those
look that up.
stats, but I'm pretty sure he hit six 3 pointers in that game. So yeah, that man is not only just automatic from the free throw, but that man could he could Chef Curry you, man, for real, bro. So yeah, stopping those two, I think is going to be priority number one. I would say, especially in college basketball, because the person who brings up the ball, your point guards, usually kind of determine the pace of how that possession is going to go, right? So
Mhm.
if we could just be real gritty in their ear, not giving anything easy, getting around screens, I don't see why we can't control this game. But on the flip side, they have really well rounded players themselves. Like just about everybody on their starting five, they can score. Like there's no lollygagging around that. They can score, man. And their defense is relatively solid, I would say, especially for Big 12. At this point, everybody in the Big 12 plays good defense, I would say. So that's almost to be
Uh,
expected, but for the most part, Kansas State is really good at playing defensive battles as well. So they could really control the game. And to me, I think it comes down to both backcourts and who gets hot early. Because the team I think that gets off to a fast start is probably going to be the one who wins this game because possessions are going to matter getting down to
unless
the
you're
end
Oklahoma State.
unless you're Oklahoma State. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this team. Fucking that's that. But yeah, Kansas State is they're a good team. They're not they've always been good at basketball. No one to let up. Jonah, you've already touched on their coach being a solid coach, one of the better ones in college basketball. And he definitely shows out just about every year. It's just a thorn in our side, ain't they? Fucking Kansas State. Golly.
Always. We did get them in Lubbock last year. We got
Did.
a pretty big dub against them.
I remember that game.
It was nice. It was nice.
Oh, oh, and what is it? The I don't know how to pronounce it. It was like Gasson, whatever.
Oh yes.
Let's
Yeah,
yeah, let's box him out. That that man's a rebounder. He's a rebounder. He's up there,
definitely.
if
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean they have
mistaken. So,
they have a lot of they're a really good rebounding team just in
so
general.
second chance
But
points, man. The second
yeah.
chance points on offense is like second chance points on offense is beautiful. That's a beautiful stat you want to be in. I mean, probably not because that means you're not making most of them when you go in. But I mean, it's good to have extra possessions, man, especially in basketball when it comes down to the end. It really makes you start questioning. If he had just made that one layup earlier. If he had made those two
Mhm.
free throws in the third quarter, right? Or in this
Yeah.
case, in the first half for us, or in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, no, this is gonna be a good game. I expect this one to be close. We'll get to score predictions here in a little bit, but what about you, Nesta? How you feeling about Kansas State? About
Um,
Manhattan? Are we
honestly,
playing?
it's probably
Are we
more
playing them
we're playing
home?
in Lubbock.
We'll play them in
Yeah,
Lubbock.
in Lubbock.
We're playing in Olympic. Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
we don't
playing
even
in
have to worry
Lubbock.
about that one. Thank God.
I
I
mean,
feel
I think it's more about us more than them. Even
okay.
though they do have some proficient like scorers in their backcourt, as long as we handle business and just keep doing the things we've been doing up to this point, should be fine. I honestly will have to disagree with you. I don't think it's going to be close. Close to the game as we think. I think it's going to be like one of those, you know, 10, 15 point victories. I think we'll control the game for the most part.
Okay.
honestly.
Oh, really?
I feel like Kansas just
Yeah,
always gave us fits,
I
though, man.
mean, just I mean, but just on the opponents that like we have faced like similar opponents, and they, because we both face like lesser competition in our first like 15, 13, 14 games.
Hmm.
They have struggled against like weak teams, and I mean, even North Alabama. We both played North Alabama. They barely beat them by 1 point in overtime. We smacked them. So just like common opponents just gives me more confidence also as well.
Okay, okay,
Um,
I can see that for
so
sure. I
so
wouldn't
like as long
disagree.
as we don't get in our own way, and what I mean by that is like turnovers, missing free throws, the easy things. Just don't get in your own way. And I think this game's more about us than it is them. And like, oh, we got to worry about them. No, we just have to worry
So
about what we do great.
you're more on the fence about don't lose the game, don't beat yourself up, essentially,
Yeah, because
right?
I think this is a game that you should easily win. I don't even
Okay.
think it's like up there, and I also think it's more of a must win for us because of the like how Jonah said earlier. Our next 5 games like are pretty tough, especially like after this game we're going to play Houston. I think in Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, so
that
so you
Houston
definitely
game is
don't
going to
want
be
to
important coming up,
you
man.
definitely don't want to head in there, with a loss to a team that you should have beat,
I
for
get you.
sure. Yeah, yeah, no,
and that's how I
definitely,
feel about that.
I love
definitely
the
understand that.
confidence, man. I love the confidence. I don't know. Something about Kansas, both Kansas teams just they love to just screw us over in basketball. It's
What
just
else would they
without
do
a
good
doubt
for you?
sometimes. I that's the only thing that's their pedigree, right? So I guess I shout out to them for being good at what they're supposed to be. It's definitely not football.
Like,
Maybe this past
golly.
year, but maybe this past year was different, but
Well, hey now,
yeah, this past year was a little
K-State's
different, but
always
still.
pretty good. So, um,
Pretty competitive, pretty competitive. But what do you think, Jonah? How do you feel? Did you give your 2 cents on this matchup,
yeah,
man?
I feel pretty confident heading into this one, especially knowing that it's at home and in front of a hopefully packed. I mean, jam-packed, a supermarkets arena that I'll be at. Um, last time I went to Lubbock, man, for a basketball game, it was with you actually, and we did not come out on the winning side of that one. It's been
Nope.
unfortunate. It was a bit of a bummer. Bit of
You
a
hate to see
bummer.
it. We drank
At
at
the
Chinny's
moment, right
afterwards.
now, according to ESPN's matchup predictor, Texas Tech has a 74% chance to win against
Mm.
Kansas State at home. Kind of going to go over some of the team stats, a kind of a team comparison here. Points per game, Texas Tech averages more points per game at 78. KSU averages 76. Points allowed, Kansas State gives up a little more points than we do at 68. We give up about 65. Field goal percentage, Texas Tech leads at 47% compared to KSU's 43%. Rebounds, they do beat us in the rebound category, averaging almost 40 rebounds per game, a 2 hour 36. Assists, they average just slightly more. They're 15.4 assists per game to our 15.3 assists per game. So very even there. Do get more blocks than you, average 4.5 blocks to your 3.5, and steals actually average like 2 more steals than you do, 7 to your 4. So that's kind of just some overall average, some averages for both sides on the year. I think that, I'm very confident, but man, just it's always just something about K-State, and it's just always scares me, dude. I am always so nervous playing Kansas State, man.
We have everything going for us this game, though,
Yeah, I know, and
right?
that's exactly
So
why. Like we have everything going for us, which leads me to believe that something's coming due. Like a bill's coming due. Like the rent's coming due pretty soon, it just
sick.
really, I'm hyped for it. I'm excited about it. I feel good about our chances in this game, but it's for all those reasons I just mentioned that makes me really nervous. You know, it's like you can't have three good things go right for you. If you're Texas Tech, we don't get that. Never had that, right? Um, but
That
I
doesn't
I don't know.
happen.
Maybe that's just like the pessimistic side of me coming out and having been a fan for this many years. Just you know,
The sooner we get out of that mentality, the faster we move on to greater heights.
exactly, exactly, man. Faster we
Fair
do,
enough.
and the higher the vibes become, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, the vibes are still gonna be immaculately high heading in there, as they are all the time here. But yeah, I mean, I think that Texas Tech could definitely handle some business. I don't have. I'm trying to look at what the line is for this game. I just cannot find
I
it.
didn't see
I
one.
don't I don't think they determine it
Yeah,
until the night or 2 days
yeah.
before,
I think
if I'm not
maybe tomorrow
mistaken.
the line will come out for this
So
game, but yeah,
Texas Tech minus 15.
because does Kansas
no, it
State
won't be that. It
play
won't be that.
they play tonight, Kansas State, or they play within these next day or two, right? So
Do
K-State,
they?
K-State's already
I
played, I believe.
did they I could have
Yeah,
swore
they.
they had one more. Are we truly the next game, or do they have a game before us? Because it's the only reason I could think
No,
of.
they
They
played
have one
yesterday. They
more
played
No.
West Virginia yesterday.
yesterday. They might be
Yeah,
still determining the line then, since
yeah, I
they
guess so.
won technically, right? So,
Yes, and
but
by the way, Kansas State currently ranks 78th in the net rankings at the moment. So just want to
yeah,
throw that in
78
there.
now. 78 now.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see
we,
at the
so
end of the
we need to
season.
beat that ass.
And Texas Tech's 33 in the net rankings, 24 in Ken Palm for Texas Tech, and K-State's 56 in Ken Palm. So two of the big kind of matrix
Yeah.
that we have in college basketball. So yeah, I guess that kind of wraps up our Kansas State talk. Do you have any score predictions for us?
Um, I think it'll be a little more defense, right, but not too much. So I'm gonna go with the score prediction of a 84 to 79 Tech.
84-79 Tech. Okay. Like
84
it.
79 Tech.
Like it. Nesto, what about you, man?
Uh, 93-77 Tech.
God damn.
Ninety-three
Okay.
seventy-seven Texas Tech. Okay.
Dang. So
Okay.
Nessa is expecting us to be over 50% on our three pointers coming into this game. And you know what? I love it. I love it.
I think Texas Tech gets the win 85 to 80.
Okay.
It's about that range too. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of defense played in this game.
No, I think there'll be
Nice.
some at like stretches, like probably midway through the first half. I would say probably 7 minutes to the end of the second half, probably is where you'll see the most defense. That's where I think
All right, for
it's gonna
sure,
happen.
man.
Let me ask y'all though, question, since our offense has kind of been rolling a bit, question mark. Do you think we over or under 30 points this game? What did we do this past game? 33? We'll do that. Under over 33 first half.
Over.
Over.
Push bet exactly
Yeah.
33.
Exactly 33.
Gonna
Okay,
go
fair enough.
exactly
Ooh, he's
33.
he's
Because
Nickel
pushing.
match it.
we struggled a little bit in the first half offensively, but we got it rolling towards. We ended
Yeah,
that off
yeah.
great, right?
And
As far as that goes.
that's what I've noticed. Like Texas Tech so far, we don't really start off very well. But once we get things kind of figured out and we start to get in our rhythm, we start flowing a lot better.
Would would you call
We
that
put
a
the ball in
coaching
the
adjustment? What? Oh
What?
my God.
Is that what that is?
I'm so excited my phone just fell
Oh my
over.
God.
Go catch that on YouTube. But yeah, coaching adjustment. It's great, isn't it? A
oh
little
man.
emotion
So
on the
fantastic.
sidelines.
So
It's great, isn't
fantastic. I'm not used to this,
it?
man. Just not used to it at all. But yeah, yeah, I mean that's it's gonna be a fun one. I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully it continues to go on this very positive trajectory. Even if it doesn't, well, we're still gonna be here talking about it. So
We
I,
did it
I
last
really, I
year
really think this game is a must-win.
for my mental
it's a must
health.
win already this early in the season?
Yes, yes, bro. Of course.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no.
I
Yeah,
must as well.
heading into Houston, that's a huge game. Like we need to win that game.
Yeah, I will say though,
Yeah, we
it's
need
kind
to
of
at
crazy.
least be
Like it's kind of
competitive in
like
that game, man.
it's
At
pretty
least
special being in the
Exactly.
Big
competitive.
12 because every opponent you see every night is a is essentially a tournament team. So you're playing a tournament team every day, every night in conference play. Like because like, you
Just
could possibly send 10 teams to the tournament, and honestly, it might not be enough. It might be a snub out there, to be honest. But I think it's yeah, that's just kind of the very a really special part about playing in the conference that you do. Like we all talk about it being a gauntlet, it being a 18 round knockout drag out fight, but it prepares you for the tournament. Because every
You're
team you
right.
see
You
is gonna
damn
be
right.
good. and
All
every
I
team
know is
stayed in conference play. That's
Gonzaga.
it.
Gonzaga ain't going through what we going through. That's all I gotta say.
They should just toast through their entire conference like they do every year. So, but yeah, I guess that's going to conclude our basketball talk. Going to jump right into a new segment. Not sure if this one's going to be a mainstay or not, but it's definitely one that I kind of want to bring up. It's essentially the opposite of our good vibe of the week. The segment is now called Let's Fix That, where we kind of just bring up something that we think it could be anything really that we think needs altering or adjusted, or it could be like a pet peeve, just something we're kind of unhappy with or just unhappy about, like just kind of those dumb things that you kind of question. You're like, why is this like this? Why can't we just do this instead? It's complaining, but you also have to defend your
The
arguments. And
complaint.
like, hey, like you
The
can't just ask
complaint.
like, oh, why are we doing that? Like you have to be like, okay, why are we doing this when we could be doing this? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you're kind of looking at something and then providing a solution towards it. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily a solution towards it, but like, you know, a reasonable stance. Like be like, okay, you're defending your claim essentially.
Right.
So that's what this segment is called. It's called Let's Fix That. Do either one of you guys want to start off, or do you want me to go first?
Nah, Joe, you can go ahead and take this one away, man, because it sounds like you have something to gripe about, buddy. It sounds like you got an already
Oh man,
let's fix this
just already one
kind
in the
of
chamber, dude.
moment. So,
um, so I can lead it off. My let's fix this thing kind of comes from, I spend a lot of time on our podcast Twitter page. That's the one I operate. I operate it. Any tweets you see sent out are from me. Um, and so what I have noticed a lot, and it's a lot of a lot of big, I'm very heavily involved in Big 12 Twitter as our podcast is very involved in that. Nesto, I know you follow a lot of our accounts, a lot of our
Hmm.
you engage a lot of other followers too. Um, and like we're very active in the realm of Big 12 Twitter. But I've noticed a lot going around is that so I'm okay with like shit talking on other fan bases, doesn't bother me at all.
mhm,
Like when other people do it to our Texas Tech, I don't really care. I just kind of brush it off. I'm like, whatever.
Part of the game.
It's part of the game. Like if you
Hmm.
win, like if you win and you want to say like, oh, Texas Tech, hold this L, or you guys are trash, whatever, yada yada yada, talk your shit, whatever. It doesn't bother me, doesn't phase me at all. Um, but one thing that I cannot stand is that when somebody talks trash on another team or another team's fan base, in this case, um, and then that person when they send out that tweet, you know, they start getting a lot of comments and a lot of quotes from the other side of the fan base that they were attacking, the one that they were antagonizing. That fan base then starts to come back and essentially, you know, talk a lot of trash on them, starts to,
mhm,
just make all these, comments and a lot of these, bring up a lot of facts, like starts to, take a little, I guess personally, right? And then that's fine and dandy, whatever, right? If you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. You know what I mean? Like that's
mhm,
kind of like what my problem is here. A lot of people very keen on just dishing out, but they're very unable to take it. So when you put that kind of energy back out, you better be ready to receive it right back, because those fan bases and those fans, those diehards on the other side, they're gonna come at you, and you better be ready for them. You know? And my problem lies in the realm of not being able to handle that backlash that you got from setting out that tweet. Because you made a conscious decision when you put that out there. You said like, hey, this is a good tweet. Let's go. It's gonna get some likes. Everybody's gonna like this, right?
They were
And then
standing on business.
and then that fan base, it kind of backfires, it backlash, you get a lot of backlash from it, and then all of a sudden that person is now playing the victim, trying to be a victim card. Like, oh, this fan base
mhm,
sucks. They're soft. They take everything personally. Um, they don't really they're not as passionate. Like yada yada whatever whatever, right? Like they start playing the victim card, and that is really what I hate the most. Like, let's fix that shit, guys.
mhm.
Let's fix that shit. If you can't, if you can dish it but can't take it, just don't even take it. Because I mean, I have no problem with shit posters. I mean, we have several of them here at Texas Tech on our Twitter sphere. You know, like Coach Beans, Aztec guy, Mateo Nemeo. I mean, like we got a lot of these guys, Texas Tech. Even like you know, Cyclone Larry, just like shit posters like that. You know, guys who will just talk a little shit, but they can definitely take it though. They can definitely take all the negative comments, the criticism, the backlash that they get from other fan bases. They can definitely take that. No problem. They don't mind it. In fact, it encourages them to shit post even more. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay.
Right
So
on.
that's really like one thing I think we need to fix. Stop playing the victim card if you do get attacked, because you made that conscious decision. You knew the consequences were going to happen there, and it happened. So deal with it. Don't call another fan base like, oh, soft, or you're sensitive, or you're what's what I'm looking for? What do they call them? Snowflakes. Like your snowflake
Oh.
fan, like your snowflake family. You know, let's go ahead and like take a break here. Stop playing the victim card and just take it as is. If you can dish it out, you better be ready to take it. And that's really where my problem kind of lies in. So thank you. It's my TED talk.
That's your TED Talk. Jonah had to get that off, guys. He said, "Take your L with some dignity. Stop trying
Yes, and
to,
it's not that
come up
because
with excuses."
you'll never see me post anything like negative about that, like another fan base or another team. Like if I wanted to post like Oklahoma State, such a trash poverty basketball program, shouldn't even be in the Big 12. Like you'll never see me post anything like
I
that.
guess you could. That's just kind of ruthless,
I
though, man.
could, but like I'm not going to because I'm not in that kind of business. And it's not that I can't take the backlash that would come with it. I definitely can. I could take the criticism. I don't care. I don't take Twitter seriously because Twitter's not a real place. So I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to because I'm not really in that business of sending out just negative stuff. If anything, I'm gonna send out a tweet that kind of uplifts Oklahoma State, and which might actually be on the flip side, make them feel even worse. Little mind game there. I would send out something like, hey, Oklahoma State, really, really tough basketball program. Every night's tough in Big 12. I under Mike Porton, you guys will definitely get it rolling. A lot of young talent, a lot of promising pieces to build off of. They'll get it rolling. May not be this year, but bright things are ahead for Oklahoma State. That's something I'll send out, right? Because I'm
Yeah,
about building you up, not tearing you down. So
I'm
love
just
about
want to
that.
get
tearing
that
you
off.
down.
Love
But
that.
in hindsight, that might actually, depending on how you take it, how you view it, it might actually make you feel a bit worse. You're probably like, fuck Mike Boynton or something like that,
That's that. That's
you
that's
know?
throwing his BYU take, bro. We'll kick your ass next
Not
year, man. Or you'll
necessarily. I
kick
mean,
our ass
just
next year, man. Don't worry. Y'all got it next year, man. That's so funny.
yeah, it was
That
annoying,
lives
right?
rent free in my head, man. Lives rent free in my head. It does.
But yeah, that's what I got. Let's fix that, guys.
Let's
Zuni,
fix
what you got,
that.
man?
Let's fix the portal, man. If I have to have any gripe, it's got to be the portal. I'm all about the players having the freedom, right? But there's got to be at least a limit to per team at this point. No, like at the very least, let them transfer. Let them be a one and done transfer. That's fine. I don't care. Let them have the freedom to make that choice. But I feel like each team got to get like at least a set limit on the transfer portals. At least I would say something like that. Something to at least kind of not deter anyone from transferring, but it's
Like
more of
level the playing
like
field, or
level it a bit, you know what I mean? Because if there's okay, right now we just had Saban like retire, right?
Mhm.
So we're us as fans, we're probably expecting at least I would say at least 10 to 15 players will probably end up either decommitting or transferring from Alabama.
Yeah, they
I'd
already
like
had a
to
five-star decommitted.
right.
Mhm.
So I don't think that's very unheard of to think of that, right? So that's 15, very notable high star players that were recruited to, that school. So I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to grab all 15, if that makes sense. Like even if you were, then you'd have like 5 spots left to bring in as a transfer. Like there should be something to kind of at least not make it seem like so much of a wasteland, a wild, wild west as far as the portal goes. Like, I don't know, like have it set to 30, like or 20, I would say. 20 is the max amount of portal players you can get that aren't coming from a JUCO. I'd like to stress
Ooh,
that.
that would definitely derail
That aren't
Colorado's
coming
whole program.
that aren't coming from a JUCO, right? So So, but that would be my one gripe, more of a let's fix it. But really, my ultimate gripe is like, let's just fix the NCAA. Like, either they need to like disperse because their hold on college football to me is like just damn near at this point irrelevant. Like, what surface of importance do they play collectively now in college
It's a good
football?
question,
Honestly,
actually. That's a good
honestly,
question.
other than just handing down suspensions or not allowing players to play, looking at you, University of Carolina, right? The guy that played out there, was it for Duke? It was one of the guys that,
Carolina, yeah. North
right, he
Carolina.
transferred there and couldn't play after, and that was after they had made the rule and after he had transferred. So, and they still didn't let him play. So, like, it's moments like that where I'm like, let's fix the NCAA. Like, y'all could have been way ahead on these NIL deals, right? You could have made it a trust fund. That way you don't have 18-year-old kids getting 2 million right off the bat, or even just 100K right off the bat, right? Like, you should have had it in trust funds so they are able to spend it later, like 3, 4 years down the line when they're a little more mature, you know. That's kind of how I felt the NCAA. So let's fix the NCAA, because golly, if there's one organization that grinds my gears, it's got to be them. Just for their lack of innovation, their lack of forethought, and just their lack of actually seeming like they genuinely care about the players. Because I don't know about y'all, but I've never looked at an NCAA investigation and was like, yeah, they're in the right. Win, win.
Penn
Come on
State.
now.
I think I got you there,
Nah,
buddy.
damn.
You
I
got
think
me
I
on
got you
that
there.
one. Yeah, you got me on
I
that
was
one.
like,
But that's a program, bro. I'm talking about a player. That's a
Yeah,
program.
okay. That's fair. That's fair.
That's a program. Let's be honest. If the NCAA didn't step in, the FBI most definitely was gonna
All
step
right.
into
he
that
said
shithole,
Well,
Penn
they
right?
did
State.
actually. They did.
Yeah. So, so there you go.
I got you,
But
man. That's a good
that's
one.
my let's fix it, man. They grind my gears. They really do.
Nesto. Let's fix it, buddy. What's got? What you got?
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but mine's just in a completely different direction, I guess.
No,
Hey,
no.
man. If you want to
Take
shit
it.
on Spurs backcourt not giving it
No,
to
no, no,
Wemby.
no, 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 no. Nothing sports related at all, actually.
Oh,
Let's fix Walmart and HEB closing at 11 p.m.
Oh,
let's
it's so
fix that.
garbage.
I miss 24-hour
Dude, 24-hour Walmarts for the
Damn, I do
Walmart.
remember that.
I
That was
I
bliss.
remember 2 in the morning. Walmart runs were the best, or like just even HEB. Used to stay open till like 1 in the morning. Like, why? COVID ruined it, and now they close so early. Now it's like
They ruined a lot of things.
Target closes at like 10 p.m. Walmart closes at 11 as well as HEB. So it's like those things are just super annoying when you're like in the mood for a late snack, or like you want to, or you just need something. For example, like you're out of toothpaste or like deodorant or something, and you just can't go to the store at any given time. Like, especially if you work and stuff like that, like your time's
Hmm.
very limited. You have to make time for that stuff. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it really, really grinds my gears that these these places aren't open late anymore, man. I'm like, damn.
I don't blame you. This is
I
why
I, I
Walgreens is elite still, bro. Or CVS. This is why both of them are still elite in
yeah,
my
I'm like,
category.
I'm like, damn, bro. Why didn't y'all stay open? Like, I get they're trying to save money and stuff like that, but nah, y'all billion-dollar corporations. Like, ah, man, I don't know.
Y'all
Let's
don't need
fix
it.
that. Let's go back to
Well,
24-hour Walmarts
yeah.
and one in the morning HEBs, please.
Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely in the same playing field as you. I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying. I missed the 24-hour Walmarts. Those were awesome. But I'm also kind of like on your side though. Like, if you think about how many people do you really think you need to run a Walmart from like 11 to like let's say 6 in the morning? How many people you really think you need to run that? You probably need like what, 8?
Exactly. Like,
Because I
you
mean,
don't
mostly it's
even.
just self checkout now. You know,
Hmm.
like I don't even think you
Well,
need
I,
that many.
actually, back in those times, all you could do is self checkout.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So
In,
you
in
more
24
now.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I wonder how many people you actually need to
You
like
you know
run
you
a
you lock one
Walmart for
you
a
lock one
set
side of the
for like a set 7 to 8 hours. You know? know what I mean?
Yeah, all you do is lock one side of the store. There's only one
Yeah,
way
and like
people
you
can
can only
come
go
in
out
and
one
out.
way.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
got you.
what's the deal? What's the issue? It's like I know it's because they don't want to pay overnight, workers, but like how you said, how many overnight workers do you really need? Like you got your stockers, and then
Yeah,
you have like maybe like two people run the floor. Like close electronics. We don't need electronics at 2 in the morning.
yeah.
Just
McDonald's or
mostly
Subway
gross.
is already closed. Like
Just mostly groceries and like cosmetic things like
yeah.
deodorant, shampoo, like stuff like
The
that. It's
essential
just
stuff
I don't
open.
know.
Yeah.
I
I,
get you, man. It's
at the
definitely
very
annoying.
least, if you're not gonna bring back 24-hour Walmarts, just a little bit later, just extend that shit to like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Give me
Yeah,
some
like when
time.
bars close
Like,
down, that's when Walmart's closed down. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind it. I mean, that'd be better than the 10 o'clock that it is now or the 11
I
o'clock
mean,
that
but
it
like
is. So
my question is like, so what if you don't have any medicine and
it's
you get
Walgreens
mad
and
diet?
CVS, man. That's what it is. That's where you're going
Walgreens
to.
isn't even open 24
Yeah.
hours over
Yeah.
here.
Walgreens didn't open either. Yeah. So
There's
it's a fair point,
there's
man.
some
That's a fair point. You got
Walgreens,
to go to
some
like you got
CVS's.
to hope that your local corner store has, the items that you
What you
need.
need.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, but like, how many times are corner stores gonna have like sinus medication or like cough relief stuff,
Yeah.
or like if you have diarrhea, like stuff like that. It's just annoying.
I
I just
get you.
think we need to
They
go
definitely
back.
don't
We
sell
need to,
deodorant. They're definitely not selling deodorant at a corner store, bro. Like,
Mine
exactly. It's
does. Mine
just
does.
really? You're saying
Yeah.
a Dove's for men and Old Spice at a corner store?
Well, I used to agree like a normal person, but
Okay.
wow, wow.
Okay.
but yeah,
To
I
be
I
fair,
I
he was
definitely understand
native,
what you're saying.
dude.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I've never
But
seen that at a corner store, but I digress.
but all right, let's go ahead and move on to the segment that we all love. It's always a fan favorite. I don't know if it is or not, but it's just one we love here to do on the podcast. Called our uh our good vibes vibe of the week. Cue the Andre 3K. Zuni.
Love it.
First good vibe of the week of the year. Lead us off, my friend.
You know what? The good vibes, vibe of the week, right? So we're just to give y'all a little tidbit. We recording the podcast a little late tonight, y'all. Right? Just a bit, right? We're going into the night a bit. So, and after this podcast, I'm gonna have myself a nice home
Beer.
cooked meal,
Oh,
not beer,
oh.
meal, and that's my good vibe. I'm going with that home cooked meal made by either a family member, a friend, significant other. When someone makes you a good home meal and they present it to you and it actually tastes good, you can't beat that.
And
You
it
can't.
actually tastes good.
And it
Sounds like a
actually tastes
sleazy
good.
jab.
I'm just saying, you never know. It's nice. It's nice when someone cooks for you, but if it's like, just okay,
Huh?
that's the moment where I'm
Huh?
like, I could have made it better, maybe. But nah, but like, for real, though. My good vibe of the week is that home cooked meal. Specifically, if you guys want to get into the actual dish that was made, I'm about to go mess up some Cajun pasta after this, right?
I like
Ooh,
how you did
it's
that
gonna,
when you talk about
it's gonna,
pasta.
it's gonna
The
taste so
Cajun
Italian
good.
hand
pasta.
gesture
It's the
to
Cajun
Cajun.
pasta.
pasta.
It's the Cajun
Yeah,
pasta.
yeah. I stuck my hand out, guys, in case
Love that.
for our
Love that.
non-YouTube viewers. But yeah, man, that's the vibe I'm gonna go with. I'm also eating it with my Texas toast and a home cooked meal after a long day. Just can't beat that, man. It's
You know, invite,
100%
bro.
like it's always gonna be better than fast food. I'd argue that it'll be better than most restaurants on most days, right? Except maybe like a steakhouse. That's
Saving
kind of
some
hard to
money
beat.
too.
That too, man, right? And just the love, the kindness. You felt,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
you just feel it. You feel that
You
vibe.
taste the love in every bite.
You can,
Are
you
you
can.
feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
So I had to go with a vintage Zune, you know what I mean? Had
Yeah,
to had
yeah.
to
It's
pop
perfect,
out with
man.
the food one. Had to. It's the new year.
Yeah,
Had
no
to
better
go with
way
it.
to lead off 2024 than with a
Thank
classic
you. Thank-
Zuni.
I could have said a McDouble. I'm just saying.
A
That's a big
McGangbang.
double.
Could have said yeah, could have.
Well, all right, that's a great vibe, man. It's a great vibe. I love that one. I love that one. Nesto. I'll lead us off, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very easy this week for me. My vibe of the week. How about them Cowboys?
Oh my gosh, he's got a
How
Ooh.
about them
what is it?
Cowboys?
Was it a koozie? Is that what
Um,
it's called? A koozie, I think. He, he had to pull out the koozie
yeah.
Cowboys.
So I'm going to my very first NFL playoff game this Sunday, so I'm really hyped
Oh,
about
that's
that.
right. That's right.
Against
You
the
are, my
Packers.
friend. Heck
Nice.
yeah.
Yes,
Good shit,
yes,
man.
yes,
Love
yes.
that.
So that's my vibe of the week. I hope we come out with the W, more, the most important part of that. Because I mean, at that point, you're spending money, and to lose would just be tragic. Honestly, don't talk to
How
me for
much
like two
did you
weeks.
spend, actually? Just a ballpark number.
You
How
don't
much
want
did
to
you spend?
know. You don't want to
Like,
know.
because I know those
Do you
tickets at
really want to
Cowboys Stadium
know?
are not cheap.
Believe it
I
or not, I got an amazing deal on SeatGeek, which was sponsored by this week's video. No, I'm just playing.
No,
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 it's
no, no, no. No free shout outs. You don't
if
get
only.
any free free advertising
No,
here.
but
No.
okay, so typically I do go on a Ticketmaster to get to view tickets, and so I noticed that my email from where I get like Cowboys alerts and stuff like that was telling me to go to SeatGeek, and I actually did try it out, and I compared the same seats that were on SeatGeek versus Ticketmaster, and it was like almost like a $60-$70 difference.
Oh wow, okay.
Damn.
So
That's a
so
good penny.
you know, at first, the tickets were looking mad expensive. Like, so my girl did not want to sit in the sections of 400 and 300, which just a disclaimer out there.
Like nosebleeds, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's no bad seat in the house. So I just want to say that if you ever go to AT&T Stadium and you sit 400, 300, honestly, the seat's great. It doesn't matter where you sit in
Yeah,
the
you got a
house.
giant ass screen in front of
Yeah,
you.
exactly,
Makes
Yeah,
the whole
exactly. I
field.
mean,
biggest
but even the
TV.
on field, even looking at the field, it's not like you're looking at ads. Like, it's a great view wherever you're at in that stadium. Honestly, I can't vouch for sitting all the way on top of the 400 sections because I've never done that. But you have that gigantic screen that you can't fathom that screen until you go see that in person. So, everybody that's listening knows what I'm talking about. If they've been in that stadium. And if you haven't, honestly, if you haven't been in that stadium, you have no idea how big that screen is.
Wow.
And so just based off of that, the only reasons that we don't want to sit 400, 300 is just the inconvenience of like trying to use the restroom or trying to go to the concession stand. Like, it's a little bit far out in those sections
Yeah.
Hmm.
compared to where like 200, 100, they're just right there, right in your face. Um, So that's the only reason, and that was the one condition she gave me. She was like, if you can find tickets between, I want to say a grand for both of us, you know, and then in the 200 section, then we can go. Which it's kind of like almost impossible at that point because 200, 100 section, you're looking about $600 to $800, and that's not even after tax.
Yeah.
You know,
And plus
each
the
Damn.
ticket
ticket.
fees and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're looking almost at like honestly like anywhere from 15 to 2 grand.
Yeah. It's just
So
like,
I'm just like those ticket specifications she gave me. I was just like, yeah, it's just not gonna happen. But being the hopeful person that I am, I never want to give up. In most things, if I feel like I have a chance and a miracle might happen. Someone's just like, I really don't care about these tickets. Someone else will enjoy them. Just give me my money fast. I always like to think that there's people out there that do that. So, I was just taking a gander down SeatGeek, and I was just amazed that I found these
Lucked
tickets
out.
that a little bit over the price, but and nothing within range to make it reasonable. So they were after tax 530 each, so $1,060
That's
for both of our tickets
pretty. That's
in
pretty solid,
section
bro.
246 on row 9. So
Dude,
and
for
then
a
I can
playoff game. My God.
exactly. So as soon as I was like, hey, you said 1,000, these are 1,060, just a little 60 over. I'll pay more. I'll pay the bigger half if we just go. She was like, all right, let's do it. I was like, all right, cool. And that's how it happened. We just,
Love to
I know
see it,
Martin
man.
Luther King Day is on a Monday, so she's off and I'm off. So it just works out. It's perfect.
that's
Hell
awesome,
yeah.
man. That's awesome. Hell yeah. At
That's a
least
good
one of our
vibe for
teams
sure.
is in the playoffs right now. Um Saints could have been there, but needed some help. Didn't get any, none, not a one. And I'm
Those
glad we ran
damn
up on the
Packers.
Falcons, by the way. I have no grasp with that because Atlanta sucks. Uh,
Hey, Nesto, out of curiosity, I know as a Cowboys fan you would love this, right? Because but if it's a blowout, okay, let me ask you, as a person that's actually going to watch the game in person, would you prefer a
Mhm.
blowout or a closer-ish kind of game?
Um,
With
oh, you
ultimately
want
your
that
team
blowout?
prevailing, of
You
course,
want
right?
your team to
honestly,
blow them out.
I want the Dallas Cowboys this weekend to beat the absolute shit out of those Green Bay Packers. In the last
Yeah.
10 meetings that we faced the Packers, whether it's playoffs or regular season, they've won nine.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's yeah, I know. It was
Um,
A-Rod Stadium for a minute. It
not
was his home away
not
from home.
not not by a lot either. Those a lot of those games are just honestly one score games. And honestly,
Hmm.
the only time we beat them
The
was Dak's
Dez no
rookie season
catch.
in Green Bay. Yeah, you see, you just had to bring up bad memories, didn't you? I just had PTSD all over again.
Uh,
I remember that
uh,
day like it was yesterday, honestly.
okay. Oh, we got to do something to kind of Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas. Top five
Sucks.
wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Whatever. I don't
Ah,
care.
Slap boy,
sorry.
slap boy.
Slap boy. Slap boy.
Nah,
You
but
got caught back. I'm sorry.
dude, I remember that day, and like I had two friends over, and I was like, "There's no way that's not a catch." Like we were already celebrating it. I remember that day. Like man, when they came out, he said that that was an incomplete pass. Like I honestly couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I
Was that the
honestly couldn't
one?
believe it.
Was that the one and only time you almost ran into your TV?
Yeah. And
Or
that was
No,
like
that
11 years ago too, at this point.
I remember I went outside
All
and I
right.
was
Or
just
is that
like,
like 10
and
years ago?
I went outside and I was just like in total disbelief. Like I wanted to yell, but I couldn't get nothing out of myself. Like I just, I mean, but I will say this: if even if we do score, Aaron Rodgers gets the ball back with up three. So I mean, at the very least, we're going to overtime. I think because he ended up marching down the field pretty easily. So I mean, you never know
hey
what
man,
happens.
I just hope I
I,
see you on TV, Nesto. That's it, bro. Hope
Yes.
I catch you
Looking
on
for
the
the boy on
jumbotron,
TV.
well,
man.
I am going to be behind section 246, so I'll be behind one of the field goal posts.
Oh, nice.
Lit.
Nice. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Love it,
Hey man,
man.
you might
Love
get a
it.
ball. Who knows? If they throw it far
I ain't giving it
enough.
back.
I'm gonna bet. You want it back? Go to
Jordan,
pry it out of my hands,
There
man.
goes your TV. There goes your seats, man.
Jordan,
I
Jordan
think
Love
they keep.
throws that out of bounds. I'm catching it. I ain't giving it back.
Well, definitely at the game, definitely go to Texas Live for me, dude. Have you been there before, by the way?
Oh, where?
Texas
Texas
Live?
Live.
Yeah.
Nah, where's that?
No, it's like that giant it's like that giant bar right across the street from Cowboy Stadium. It was right next to Globe Life Field. I remember me and my dad went there right after the Royals Rangers game. The Rangers beat the shit out of my Royals that day. So we went but yeah, we were at that game and we went to Texas Live. Basically, if you've never been there before, it's basically like a mall, but nothing but bars, and it's awesome.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's awesome, man. I'm unfortunately doing dry January this month, so I can't have
What?
anything.
That's
Yeah,
what
I've been
Jonah
going pretty
does.
strong.
I
10
don't know
days so
why.
far. Not bad.
I don't know why
It's
he
my
does
third
it.
year doing
At,
this.
It's
at
So,
least at least he could prove that he's not an addict to alcohol, right? So I commend you for that. I commend you for that.
oh yeah, because
I'm
yeah, it's no alcohol, no nicotine. I tried the no caffeine. I quit that after day three. Nope. I gotta have that caffeine, dude. Um,
it's my birthday in January, so I could definitely not participate in that.
yeah, yeah. I the first time I tried it was in it was February because I was like, that's the shortest month of the year, why not? But you totally forget Super Bowl's in February. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, okay, January. I got a lot of playoff
Okay.
football going on. Like, damn. But
Speaking speaking of the Super Bowl,
especially last year when Texas Tech basketball was doing atrocious for that whole month. That sucked. Um, but yeah, so far going pretty well. I'm used to it at this point. But yeah, getting into my good vibe of the week now. Kind of touched on a little bit earlier. You said you got Martin Luther King Day off on a Monday,
He had
which
a
is
mhm,
dream.
awesome.
Yes, sir.
yeah, he had a
Awesome.
dream.
My good vibes of the week actually goes to 4-day work weeks. I now
Oh.
at my new position in my job, I work only 4 days a week. I used to
Must be nice.
it's all on site though, which kind of sucks, but I'll definitely take it. Because my previous position it was work from home 3 days out of the week and then on site for 2 days a week,
Mhm.
and which was fine, but now like they said like, oh, you got to be on site now all for 4 days a week. I was kind of like bummed out about that because I don't know, I like work from home. But they say like, oh, it's only going to be a 4-day work week. I'm like, fuck, let's go.
Okay.
Like let's
Oh
go.
man,
So
Sure.
yeah,
are y'all
I
hiring?
now get every Monday off. I have 3-day weekends every single weekend, which is so
Badass,
nice, by
man.
the way. It is so nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I still have to do 5 days worth of work in 4 days. Like that day doesn't just disappear. That day's workload doesn't just
Uh,
disappear throughout the week. Like, but if you spread it
So
across 4 days, it's not bad at all. Like you barely really notice the difference. But yeah, that's my give us of the week goes to
so
four
you work
day
12 hours
weeks.
a day?
10 hours probably.
No, I work about like 10. Yeah,
10,
10 a
10 and a
day.
half hours. 10
About
and a
Alright,
half
and
hours,
also
10:20.
one more question, Jonah. Are y'all hiring?
We is.
Do y'all
Maybe I'll
uh
look on up. You out in San Antonio though. I'm up here in Austin. So
It's all right.
yeah,
I'll
that's
make
my
that
good
one drive.
vibes of the
I'm
week right
committed.
there, man.
I'll
Just a
make the
4 day
drive.
work week. And you don't really notice it until like because like and the common problem with like working the typical 5 day weeks, it was always like you have like 2 days to rest throughout the weekend, fine, right? But like most of the time when like you're
It's
resting,
not
like you got
enough.
like other shit to do around the house. Like, you got like laundry to do, you got to do
Yeah.
dishes, got to clean up, yard work even, got to go see your family, make sure your friends are doing well. If they invite you out, you got to go places, take care of your car, do a lot of these different things, like these different chores like on weekends. So you're like, you could argue you're still working on weekends, if you want to look at it from that lens, but like the extra day
Honestly, I've
off
always
though.
said that.
Especially like because I don't get it this month, but like next month, with Sunday Fun Days going on. Hell yeah, man. Let's go. Let's party it up. Super stoked about
This
that.
man this man can't enjoy it because it's dry January. A
Well, not right
choice he
now, but
makes.
next month,
A
yeah.
choice he makes. But hey man, I commend you for it. I commend you for it. And what's the old saying, Jonah? Because
I don't
it's
know.
what I've
Remind me.
always done and I refuse to change. It's a classic. It's a
Dang,
classic
an
Jonah
old but a
quote. That
goodie.
one,
Ain't you? Okay.
yeah.
That's
uh,
awesome, man. But all
for
right.
sure.
Zinni, got any trivia for me?
I actually had a trivia just to cap off the football season. So we're gonna exclude Oklahoma and Texas out of this possible listing
Okay.
of what you choose. So we're gonna exclude them. We will add the new Big 12 teams to this possible ranking as well. So with that all said, in the new Big 12, Jonah and Ernesto, could y'all name me who had the highest attendance? Which school in the Big 12 had the highest
BYU.
attendance? Oh,
Like
Jonah, would you like
highest
to take a guess?
attendance? Like,
Yeah, highest attendance, like per game, highest attendance on average. Who had the most in the
oh,
Big
so
12?
like you're talking like percentage of the stadium filled?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bodies really, because I have the exact number, not the exact numbers, but I don't have the percentage. I have more of the number of people that were actually showing up to the stadium.
So the capacity percentage.
Capacity, yes. Okay,
I'm
good.
gonna go Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Okay. Actually, Nesto got it right. Actually, it was
Ding ding
BYU.
ding.
BYU, really? Okay.
Yeah.
BYU actually averaged on attendance about 62,000 people attending their game
Nice.
every Saturday, man.
Yes, sir.
The stadium seats
Yeah, shout out to
63,000, so that's
BYU.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Utah
Cougars,
showing
man.
out, man.
Let's
They
go.
showing out there over there in Utah, man. They love their football. I get it. Could
Somebody give
y'all
me a cougar roar.
could y'all
Want
name
that
the
cougar tail?
how does that sound? No, I don't know. Could y'all name me the
Yes,
next
sir.
two? Who's top three? Maybe?
Oklahoma
Three.
State's got to be there, right?
I don't know, Jenna. Is that what you want to roll with as your
Yeah,
number
either
two
two
and
or
number
three.
three
Yeah,
option?
2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
And
I'm
then
gonna go tech
three, I'm gonna say
three.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna go tech three, and then I'm going. Shit. Hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh. I almost said Baylor.
No.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
but there's no
it's not
way.
Baylor. I can tell you that one.
Maybe
Yeah,
K-State?
yeah. I don't know that way. I almost came out of my mouth. Uh, is it UCF?
All right, guys. Sounds like you guys have determined y'all second spot. So both of y'all actually did get the third one right. It is Texas Tech. We average about 54, 500 on average for attendance in our stadium.
Yeah,
So
because our
about
stadium
Hell
had
55,000.
reduced
yeah!
capacity this past year. It was down to
About
56,200 when
so
from
yeah,
its normal
so
60,000. So yeah.
we were about almost sold out for on average in
Yeah,
our stadium,
awesome.
right? So that's great.
The
We love to see
McGuire
that.
effect.
The second one, actually, neither of y'all got right. Um,
Damn it!
Funny enough, the second most attended crowd in the Big 12 was Iowa State, actually.
Oh
Oh,
wow, I
okay.
would have never guessed that shit.
Yeah, Iowa State actually averages around 60,000 attendees per game this past season,
Brock
I should stress.
Brock Purdy effect.
Pretty effective.
Well, all right, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, so I just wanted to, throw those numbers out. Considering it's the new Big 12, right? We have potential new leaders. I love that our fans show out. So yeah, man. Just wanted to throw it out there. We got three teams that you wouldn't think would have the most attendees, considering I guess the pedigree of the programs, I guess you could say to some teams. But
Hey,
hey man, we
passion's
show
passion,
out.
man.
Passion's passion. We show out, man. We show out. Iowa State, shout out to y'all. BYU, shout out to y'all. I could respect any program that has fans that actually support it. So, man, shout out to y'all for that. We at number 3. Just wait till we upgrade our stadium.
Oh, it's going to look so
Imagine.
nice, dude. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that upgrades,
um,
dude. I can't wait to look at it.
if we were including Texas and Oklahoma, then they would obviously get 1 and 2, just for how huge their stadiums are compared to the rest
Well,
of the
no,
Big
it's like
12.
percentage of the stadium filled. Is that not what we're going off of?
No, I was going off of complete capacity, man.
Just
Like
total
complete,
capacity.
like total capacity of how many
Oh,
people
well, I could have guessed
on
that.
average. On average, yeah. Well, you did it, Jonah. So I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Zuni, question:
Question. What?
why did a bunch of balloons just show up in your screen?
I,
Right now?
Yeah, bro, like a bunch of balloons just went.
yes, it
Woo.
did. I was kind of ignoring that, but
I didn't press anything on my screen, boys. I have no idea what to tell you. I didn't
You
touch a
saw that,
damn thing.
Jordan? That was
yes,
Rerun the
crazy.
clip.
he's just
Rerun the
so
clip. My
happy.
hands were over here.
His vibes are immaculately high. He's just
He
spraying
summoned
balloons out, dude.
balloons.
I summoned
Um,
balloons. Anyways, that was my one trivia, guys. I didn't have anything else for y'all, but
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Any final thoughts or shout outs before we wrap this one up?
Obviously, shout out to my girl making my that beautiful pasta coming
Cajun
into my stomach.
pasta.
Cajun pasta. Yeah, that one. That's gonna be good. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the new year. Hopefully, shout out to the new basketball year.
Yes,
Shout out to the boys, of course. Coming back together.
yeah,
Right, always a good time to
absolutely.
talk that
Always love it.
sports, man. Shout out to our listeners. Got to do it, of course. Shout out to my cat. Yeah, man. Shout out to water. Drink it. Can't survive without it.
Absolutely, right
What
here.
about y'all, man? What y'all got? Y'all got shout outs? Y'all got
Yeah,
final
yeah, yeah.
thoughts?
Shout
Everything
out
you
my
just
girl.
said times two.
Times two. Damn, he's good.
Mm,
He upped me. He
Shout out to
went
my
up
girl
me.
too.
mm,
God damn.
mm. Times two, brother. That's
Times
crazy.
two. Then Nesto's gonna hit with that
Well,
times three. Oh, sorry. I'm
actually,
joking.
-4. Give me
Neg-
-4. Everything on that. -4.
okay.
Your
Nah,
vibes
but
are down, dude. You need to bring them
Price is
vibes
right.
up.
shout out my girl. You know,
Your
for
vibes are like right here, Nesto. I'm gonna need them like right here. Okay.
So Jonah went to his chest for where he was originally, and then went for his
Zuni,
head.
you're good. You're good, man.
I had to
You're
describe it
good.
for our
You're
audio
good. You're good.
listeners.
All right. This has clearly been a
wait,
really
wait,
fun
wait, 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 wait,
episode.
wait, wait.
Um, oh, you got something, Nesto?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out my girl for agreeing to go to the Dallas game. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
shout out to her. Honestly, that's a lot of money, guys. I
Yes.
hope you
Shout
have a
out
good
to
time.
actually shout out to all our girls for having to put up with our very expensive tickets and fandoms that we drag them to. They have to put up with us and put up with that.
It's all
So
part
shout
of
out
the
to all of
package.
them for that. It's always awesome, man. But yeah, I guess I'll go and wrap this one up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys listening. For Nathan Zuniga and Nessa Martinez, I'm Jonah Young saying so long. We'll see you next time here on the Lone Raider Podcast.
Bye bye.